Hello. This is a presentation I was asked to provide for our Institute considering the emerging technologies and more specifically those technologies that will impact the way we function moving forward. The technologies that can have the best impact on education are evolving quickly from year to year. For this reason, rather than focus on the technologies themselves, I would like to focus on the application of this technology. Where we will make the greatest impact as an institute is when staff can see the value in what can be achieved by an educational approach rather than the technology that gets us there, and then they're prepared to work out how to make it function for them and for their students. In this video, Sir Ken Robinson from Adobe talks of the opportunities that technology offers for education. I particularly like his point that we should build use of technology into the heart of our education.
I find it very interesting now to look at how the digital tools that are available are changing the planet and the lives that our students are leading. The fact is most people who are teaching now in schools were born before these tools were available, and our students take them completely for granted. Somebody once said that technology is not technology if it happened before you were born. I mean, I was born in 1950, which just seemed like a very long time ago now, but I wasn't very excited about electricity. You know, it wasn't like some major breakthrough for me, but it was for my grandparents. And our kids aren't really that excited about a lot of the technologies now that excite adults. They simply take them for granted. So our students have a facility with digital technology, and it's right and proper, therefore, that we should build them into the heart of education. But it's also important we do it because the tools themselves are creating cultural changes and possibilities which are really quite new. Our students are connected not just with the people in the room around them, but with literally anybody on the planet they care to be connected to. And that's an entirely new cultural proposition, I think, and it changes the game. And my argument is that one of the reasons we have to transform education, and we really do, is because the technologies have changed the whole context of education. But they're also among the ways in which the transformation itself will take place. So this shift to me is much more than a shift in the way we do art or the way we do design, although that's certainly the case. These tools are extraordinary now. They affect the way we think in all disciplines. They affect the way we think of disciplines. They affect the way disciplines interact. So these new tools seem to me to be providing opportunities and a palette of possibilities which should be available to every single student, not just to a few.
I would like to now take a look at the palette of possibilities, what I see as the top 10 emerging trends on the technology front. Some of these I have taken from the Emerging Tech's Top 10 blog, others from the Horizon Report on Technology Outlook for Australian Tertiary Education 2012 to 2017. The very top of this list is mobile. The iPad and other tablet devices are gradually becoming ingrained in all levels of education, in all types of schools and academic disciplines. It is changing the way educators and students interact with their learning and with each other. In this video, Michael Chow from Apple shows how people are interacting with the technology. Watch this clip not as an advertisement, but at the people who are using these devices and the way they are interacting with them.
We believe technology is at its very best when it's invisible. When you're conscious only of what you're doing, not the device you're doing it with. An iPad is the perfect expression of that idea. It's just this magical pane of glass that can become anything you want it to be. And that's why so many people in so many different places are using it for so many different things. It's a more personal experience with technology than people have ever had. And now, with the new iPad, we're elevating that experience by dramatically improving the fundamental elements that define it.
Students are reaching a point where they simply expect to be able to access a range of information at their fingertips no matter where they are. They expect to be able to collaborate and to share their ideas with people outside the walls of the classroom. They want to learn no matter where they are. The flipped classroom is a technology-enabled teaching technique. Basically, the content, the lecture portion of the delivery, is pre-recorded and provided online for students, while synchronous activities then focus on the interaction component of education. It is seen as a way to give students a richer experience and to make their learning more personal. Those who need to can visit the material as often as they like and feel more prepared to participate in the conversations happening within the broader group. Some examples of this include educators who provide recordings using software such as VoiceThread, Adobe Connect, Adobe Captivate, and then use the time together with the student to focus on practical and group-based tasks. The majority of students have some form of smartphone. We will choose whether to embrace their potential in the classroom, where they're great for interactive polling, tweeting, research and more, or simply as a place for students to access their content when they are outside of the classroom. We should be planning for how to make the most of their availability and their powerful capabilities. There are many ways these devices can be used for things such as evidence collection, sending text messages to students, capturing videos as evidence, taking photos of completed works, and many, many more ideas. There are many reasons why the gamification of education is gaining momentum, including the cognitive, social and emotional learning benefits that it can deliver. It allows students to safely experience real-life situations in the online world. They can create their own persona, role-play and explore ideas in a place without physically being there. We have Robin Alderton in our institute who has set up a virtual world for tourism students, and generally the students love the experience. We are working with a generation who is exposed to the Wii games, the Xbox, and online games such as World of Warcraft, where they can experience completely different environments without ever leaving home. On a simpler level, simply providing tasks and reward structures within the online environment can engage and motivate students to learn. We need to remember that this concept has been around for years. We're simply just changing the game. Students love rewards and other gaming mechanics. They're both engaging and inspiring. MOOCs, or massively open online courses, are gaining momentum. Educators are quickly becoming the facilitators, the curators and the interpreters of content. Information is everywhere. The challenge is to recognise when it is credible and to make effective use of it. Open content embraces not only the sharing of information, but the sharing of pedagogies and experiences as well. It forces us as an institute to rethink, what are our students paying for? If they can get all the information for free, how do we value add in that proposition? A particularly intriguing aspect of this discussion is the move to provide formal credit or credentials for these courses, which seems to be picking up traction with some education providers. Previously, the thought was that students would pay to be assessed, even though they got their content for free. But even this has been called to question by some people. So the question remains, how do we value add what we can offer our students? Byod has both its detractors and its supporters. It can certainly make designing content and delivery interesting because of the multitude of ways people then access their information. So it can make the process of creating content quite complex. But there are a few positives. Students take responsibility for their own device and understanding how it works. Capital outlay for providers is reduced because they no longer need computer labs or specialised equipment. Their delivery is designed to work on the majority of platforms. And many people prefer to use their own device because they know it and they are comfortable on it, and they have all their settings exactly how they like it. This is particularly relevant for those students who have accessibility issues and perhaps need their learning environment customised and ready for them to use no matter where they go. Student response systems, polling apps and other synchronous tools to increase interaction and engagement in both online courses and face-to-face are another emerging technology. They allow students to fully engage and participate in a session no matter where they are. The image here is a poll that was conducted in an Adobe Connect room, and it was very quick and easy to gauge how the students at that point were travelling. Polls can be taken in big auditoriums, online or in small classes. People can remain anonymous and be constantly providing feedback to the facilitator about how they are travelling, their level of comprehension and their opinions. This then allows the facilitator to monitor the way that the course is progressing and the way that they construct their discussions and ask for further feedback. Multiple devices all accessing the same file storage from anywhere in the globe. We're reaching a point where we actually expect to be able to access our information no matter where we are and what we are doing. By putting it all in the cloud, we can sync information from multiple places at the same time. A good example is the use of a Dropbox account, which can be sitting on your work computer, your laptop, home computer, iPad or tablet, so that no matter where you are, you can actually get at your files. Learning analytics is focused on enhancing learning outcomes by leveraging data from our technology. It is only emerging from its infancy, but a growing number of institutions and organisations are working to leverage their market hold by using the knowledge gained through learning analytics. It holds the promise of increasing the efficiency and the effectiveness of instruction through the thoughtful and informed application of information technologies. Analytics are being built into many parts of online delivery to help us better understand our key audience and the things they are responding to. It helps us to tighten our review cycle and predict where to change or to improve the products we are delivering. Augmented reality brings with it the idea that we can view the world around us differently and that the real world and technology are closely intertwined. Watch this clip and it shows how leading organisations are using mobile devices to bring even two-dimensional objects into the third dimension. We will certainly never view the world the same. For those interested in further reading, the Horizon report contains some of the key technologies and predictions of their pace of uptake. It can be found at the link provided on this slide. This slide contains a listing of the references and sources used as part of this presentation.